Kyle, pull yourself together. What's up, everybody? This is Tierney. I am back with another recap of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I'm going to do my best to do this in like 15 minutes because my husband called me and he's like, hey, baby, I'm going to come pick you up for lunch because he was already out like doing an errand. And I was like, so when he called me, I'm like, yeah. So I'm going to try my best to do this recap in like 15 minutes because I think I probably have less time than that. But let's dive in. Yeah, just immediate thoughts. Kyle, enough with the waterworks. I just never have seen someone who is always offended, always hurt, always sad. Like, and I'm pretty sensitive. Like, and you know, more days are more sensitive than others. Obviously, you have different seasons where things happen. I get all of that, but Kyle has been a perpetual victim easily the past 10 years, if not her whole stretch of the show. My God, woman, the world does not center around you and your feelings and catering to you. Just like Kyle, what's that girl's name? Sutton. Just like Sutton said, I'm no longer bowing down to this altar because somewhere in your mind, just because you're the OG on the show, people should just kind of tiptoe around your feelings and kind of brush your terrible behavior under the rug. But yet, when something is being done to you, we need to just stop the presses. We need to raise the flags, alert the masses. Kyle's been hurt, everyone. Let's make her feel better. So girl, stop. So anyway, I'm gonna take you through the episode from what I remember. I don't have notes. I'm gonna be very quick, but I'm gonna try to point out the important pieces of the episode. I believe the episode starts out with the women getting glammed. So Bose is glamming and she's getting ready for her party, and she is setting up for her, I'm gonna mess up the name, but it's really like a sisterhood soiree, really like a spa themed, and she really wants the girls to come and have some healing. She says she's healing from her fibroid surgery. She wants the group to heal. And she said she was inspired by Sutton's idea from the earlier season when she was like, we're all sisters, hands in. So she was like, I was inspired by that, but she couldn't execute it. So I've experienced in that with corporate America. People have great ideas, poor execution. So I'm going to come in and save the day. So before I move any further, just in case I don't say this later on, Bo's amazing job throwing the party. I love, you have just beautiful hosting skills. You're so thoughtful with the details, the amenities, just making everything so plush and decadent. And I really love just working with different Black businesses and Black staff. And someone said on a different recap, like, that was the Blackest Beverly Hills ever been. And so that's really cool and that's really exciting. And so Bo's amazing job. I want to be you when I grow up. So Bose is getting glam, preparing for the party. Dorit's also getting glam. Bose calls Dorit, and I am going to eat my words. Last episode, I was like, Garcelle tried to carry the bone, and Bose isn't falling for it, but she fell for it. And she actually does carry that bone to Dorit, and she says, yeah, Garcelle came over. She showed the text. And it kind of sounded a little suspect. And Dorit's like, well, that's interesting. I just talked to Erica and she told me there was nothing to worry about. And so they were like, okay, well, you know, we'll see. I forget how it ended, but that was kind of like the end of that conversation. So what else happened this episode? We can talk about Jennifer Tilly and the car ride over to the party, talking about jokes and memes. And I'm like, girl, and she still does that on the after show. It's memes. So, you know, they were, Jennifer, Garcelle, and Sutton were on the way to the party, really just talking about like, okay, this text is pretty damning. It's not a good look. And so they all get to the party, again, gorgeous party. I guess Bose told the women to arrive comfy because she wanted to surprise them with the robes. And so Kyle comes with some outfit. And it's funny that Dorit said what she said because I'm not claiming to be a fashionista, but even in my head, I was just like, that's a little dated. I was like, okay. I don't particularly love the way she dresses anyway, so, you know. So I didn't give that much thought to it, but so Kyle gets out, and she has like this long dress on and a belt and her Birkin. And I think Erica actually got there first. And then Kyle arrives, and I will say this, I have a lot of things to say about Erica Jane, but it was really nice of her to say, no, Bose, like, you sit down, you're still healing, I'll answer the door, like, stop getting up so much, I'll help you out. I have noticed that Erica, when she can reach her heart, like, there is a heart there, and she does help others a lot. I remember when Teddy was pregnant, they talked about how often she checked in with Teddy. So, like, I do appreciate that. So then Kyle arrives, and then Dorit came in, and she's like, Buzz, I gave her a hug, and she was like, oh, hi, Kyle. Like, hello, girls. Hi, Kyle. And, you know, just gave her a dry hi, just like Malaysia did on Basketball Wives. Hello, dry hi. And so and immediately before she even sits down, she was like, oh, Kyle, is that comfy? Is that a comfy wear? And just throwing like little jabs. And Kyle's always stunned, and she can't think of anything to say until it's her confessional. So she's like, oh, well, I'm not so bored that every day is a fashion show. I'm like, girl, shut up. There's not a mother on the planet who is bored, because we have plenty of things to do. So shut up. And she, and Dorit, in her confessional, was like, well, her dress is from 2004, so I suppose it is worn in. I was like, get her. Like, fun shade like that, I don't mind. So whatever, it was funny. So then the rest of the girls show up, and Bose kind of gets their robes together. She walks them through the setup of everything, and kind of gets them acclimated to the party. And one of the things that was hilarious was that there was a company there of male masseuses, and it was called Manly Hands. And when Garcelle walked in, she like knew all of them. She's like, hey, I haven't seen you in a while, giving hugs. And I was like, I'm not mad at you. I'm not mad at you. She, I'm pretty sure she said on the reel, like when it was still on, that she like really enjoyed massages. Like I thought of that as soon as she was all like, hey, how you doing? I was like, oh, this must be the company she uses. So it was funny. And she was in her confessional, she was like, yeah, those hands have been all over this. I said, I know that's right. So it was funny. So they sit down, they have, they're flirting with the chef and all of that. Then they get escorted for their different massage services, feet rub, back rub, whatever. Jennifer Tilly was getting her neck and shoulders rubbed, and she was telling the guy, like, yeah, this is the calm before the storm. Like, enjoy this because it's going to get loud later. And he's like, no, don't say that. She was like, no. So, as they're so Garcelle's like in her element. This was such a funny part to me. Garcelle's in her element. She's like, I'm so serene. And then like, it was like jump scare Dorit just like came out of nowhere in her confessional. She's like, why is this bitch here? I was like, oh my God. So basically Dorit was like, hey, I'm so sorry about my reaction at the Viper Room. It was more about me than you. It was just a really heightened situation, and I'm sorry. And I really just want to let you know, I hear you when you said I don't always listen or see your point of view, and I want to change that. So she had what seemed to be a very genuine apology. Like, I was holding my breath because I was like, I was waiting for her to like mess it up. And I was like, okay, I can get with that. I appreciated it, and Garcelle really received it, seemed to have really appreciated it and thought it was genuine as well. And Garcelle was amazing in just like offering her support and a point of view of someone who's kind of been through a divorce with kids, and was like, hey, if you need any advice, like if you need me, I am here. So that was much better than Sutton's, feel free to lean on me a little bit. You can lean on me a little bit. So they seem to have appreciated it. I don't know. I feel like something happens because I don't think they're in a good place now. Because I've seen just, how they interacted on a talk show together, and I think there was something online. That was recent. I don't know. And I was like, damn, that sucks. So we'll see if anything happens like in this season or something happens afterwards. But I was like, damn, I don't think this lasts. But it was a beautiful moment in the moment. What else happened? So they're getting, so then Bose pulls Kyle aside and was like, hey, I heard that you showed the text. Basically asked her, can I see it? And here goes Kyle, oh my God, in her confessional, of course. I can't believe she wants to see it. Why? She doesn't know me. She doesn't know my relationships, da, da, da. And okay, to a point, I do agree. I think in that instance, she should have encouraged Kyle to talk to Dorit. And like, kind of like, hey girl, like I heard you're showing other people. Why don't you just talk to Dorit, have a 5-minute chat, clear it up and be done? That's probably what I would have done. I wouldn't have been like, show me so I don't know. I think that part was kind of weird, but at the same time, if you are showing other people and it's so innocuous, then why not show it? So I see both sides, but I'm like, okay, Kyle, I'll give you a half a point for that. But other than that, you flopped again so hard this episode. So Kyle was like, well, I'm not going to show you. I don't know if she said I'm not going to show you, but she was basically like, I'll tell you verbatim as much as I can remember. I have a pretty good memory. So she does say the text pretty spot on. Pretty spot on. And then Sutton comes over at the tail end. I was like, oh, you said more though. I was like, Sutton, come on. So Kyle's like, no, I said everything. And Bose was like, yeah, that seems fine, whatever. So what happened? How did things even blow up? Oh my God, this is like the whole point of the freaking episode. Pretty much, Kyle starts getting worked up. Like, I don't know why she's making this so weird. I don't know why. And she starts getting all worked up. And they're like, Kyle, like, chill out. Let's just talk about it. And, she starts getting upset and like walking out. And she's like, I'm done. And she's like turning and she like yells to Dorit. And she's like, look, I love you. I love your family. I love your husband. So you can fuck off. Like, tone it down. Again, you're in someone's home. I don't like all that rah-rah. And don't bring that anywhere like in my facility and bringing that nasty energy in my facility, because there's a way to be like, girl, I'm so tired of this. I can't take this. I'm leaving. I gotta go. Bose, thank you for the amazing party. I gotta go. I'm not in a place to even be with y'all right now. That is like, it's still dramatic for the situation, but that's how you exit. It's, I'm done. No, you know. Girl. Oh my gosh. Like, I guess that has worked for her in her life, because you're too old to be acting like that. And she had the nerve to tell the women, we're too old at this age doing this and acting like this. And you guys should be ashamed of yourselves. I have to get accosted in every group setting, not scene. I have to get accosted in every time we get together. Girl, how many people have you accosted every time you guys got together about a stupid situation? Because you're like, oh, this situation, the text is nothing. It's not a big deal. Well, it's not a big deal that Dorit sent a dog back to Vanderpump Dogs. And then you drilled that home, and you were part of the clique ganging up on Lisa or allowing the clique to gang up on her about that. You guys got on Denise Richards about her hooking up with a woman. And if it's not your marriage, why do you care? And you could have ruined that woman's marriage. Excuse me. So what are you talking about? Like, oh my God, you guys, kept trying to pin Sutton into saying something to Erica Jane season 11 when Erica's legal troubles first started kicking off, and you kept saying, well, Sutton, say what you said. Sutton, say what you said. Sutton, say what you said. Accosting Sutton in every goddamn group scene. So what do you mean? Like, I can't believe, like, and those are just the ones I can remember. Like, I know there are 10 other examples someone can list out. Like, what do you... Yes, girl. If you want to call this an attack, an assault, yes. The same thing that you have done to others. And this is what Sutton's talking about later on when she said, Kyle can yell and scream and storm off, but when I do it, it's wrong, it's excessive. You know, you need to come back and face it, and let's be open and honest, and you're not being direct and you're not being real. But Kyle, who's just always hurt and always offended, she gets to just do it. And then, and insult the group on the way out. Like, ugh, so frustrating. Okay, I hear the garage closing really quick, or opening. So really quick, what happened? She storms off. Dorit does pull her aside and was like, hey, let's just, you know, talk in a straightforward conversation. And Kyle was like, one of the things she said was like, well, if we were in a better place, I would have, and you told me to stop talking to PK, I would have done it. And in Dorit's confessional, she was spot on. She was like, and let me just say this before I wrap up. She was like, let me say this. Dorit was the MVP of this episode. I don't like everything. I don't like anything she's done. I don't like most of the things she's done up until this season. She clocked Kyle precisely. And she was very clear, and I appreciated her apology to Garcelle. And she was just very like clear and direct and like more level-headed. I was like, okay, I'm feeling it. But anyway, so Dorit says in her confessional about Kyle, she was like, if you were a girl's girl, you would know just to not text my husband. Shouldn't have to tell you that. So exactly. And so they're going back and forth, and Kyle's like, no, like he's never said anything about you to me. And Dorit's like, yes, he did. Oh, no, he did. And Dorit's like, yes, he did. And she like gave examples, and she's like, he has told me things when he has gone out with Mo, came back to the house, and you and Mo were still living together. And you know, he would kind of complain about me. You would join in and complain about me, and he would come back and tell me. So girl, shut it. So they basically kind of like agree to disagree. And then as Kyle's like crying and walking away in her confessional, she's like, okay, Dorit got what she wanted. She's making me look bad and turning the tables and taking the heat off of her to make the girls forget what she did to me. What did she do to you? She didn't do shit to you. Okay. She did nothing to you to warrant like your tirade of we're not friends, like your story changes. We were never that good of friends, but then PK is like your brother, or we were never that good of friends, but I love you and I love your husband and I love your kids. Like pick one. So then she says, you know, over 10 years, of course, we have talked about more things. Girl, she's like, yeah, it's been more things, but not about Dorit, about the show and LVP. Okay, I'm gonna leave you with this because I gotta go. Kyle, you're a liar. I'm glad the other girls are waking up. Sutton, I need you to keep this energy. Keep this energy. Keep this energy. Dorit, MVP. Keep it up. I hope you're being genuine. It seems that you're being more genuine than you have. Another thing she said about Kyle, it seems like Kyle doesn't even know how to be real. I was like, clock it. I loved it. At the very, very end, the big thing that happened was that Dorit said that Erica's pretty much afraid of Kyle because like she's straddling the fence, and 1 minute she's telling Kyle, oh, you did nothing wrong and all of this. And I was like, yeah, I don't think she's afraid of Kyle as in I'm afraid of that Kyle will yell at me. But I think she is, you know, reveres Kyle's position on the show. She's the OG. She's the show's around her. I think Erica wants to keep her job, and I think it's a very strategic alliance to have. And I think if I'm going to hitch my horse to someone or hitch my cart, whatever the expression is, I'm going to ride with the OG, who is clearly, friends with Andy. Andy has a bias towards, and I'm going to roll here and not you, Dorit. So maybe she cares about Dorit, but she's like, it's better more strategic to roll with Kyle. So there you have it, guys. Thank you so much for rolling with me, all the bumps and fast talk. Let me know your thoughts below. Who was the MVP of this episode in your eyes? How are you feeling about this season? Are you sick of Kyle or are you a fan? Let me know. Thank you so much. I appreciate you for watching. Thanks.